I just gave a 2-hour investigative rundown of. Whoa, jeez, I've divulged a whole lot. The video will be uploaded later. This is kind of an after show. I'm just so fucking pissed off, man. This fucking. Fucking. Jesus. YouTube. Get your fucking act together. Seriously. Just, stop fucking with me, man. I did all that I was supposed to, Like, I fill in all the forms, all that stuff. No. Yeah, but hey, I have it recorded. I have it all recorded. I'll upload it after tonight's after show, I guess. But hey, enjoy some fucking classical music. Hey.
Howdy.
Cool.
Hey, is that I thought the sound of the Skype thing was actually coming through the live broadcast for a second, but I don't think it actually is.
The do 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 was because
Yeah,
yeah, basically what I was doing was I was using VLC player just to play that song. Uh, oh, God, so
oh yeah,
degrading to call it a song, but um, it was basically through the same audio channel, you know. Uh,
oh yeah,
Man, I love that one,
oh
you
yeah.
know.
So it picks up everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh,
Yeah,
Mars,
that's
Bringer of
cool.
War.
What was the music?
Uh,
Oh
Holst.
yeah, that's certainly cool.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's my version
yeah.
of Alex Jones's Imperial March. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot he uses that actually, or he used it. Actually, I haven't seen him in quite a while.
Mm. Yeah, because he got booted off of all his social media in like one day.
Mm. Yeah, I was just looking at YouTube, and it looks like there's well, the first thing that comes up is all that news about that stuff, but it doesn't actually look like there's a lot of his you know, the way you'd think some channels would like back up his stuff, or like some of his stuff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not back up all of it, but clips of him and stuff like that. But it looks like there's almost nothing there. Like it's weird.
Yeah, if you ask me, it's a conspiracy within a conspiracy. You know, just to make him look
Mm. I
legitimate.
just saw a video title. Yeah, a video title, and it said H3, you know, those guys, they got a strike during one of their segments on Alex Jones. That's weird.
Oh well, okay.
So they must
Hmm.
have some kind of elaborate um, content filtering, you know. I
Yeah.
suppose it's probably not that hard to like pick out, you know, Alex Jones's voice
True that.
or
True
his
that.
face, because I mean, like he uploads in really high quality as well.
Mm. Yeah, that's how we got to see the trans porn on his phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you hear about that? No, he was doing one of his, in-show kind of infomercials of like, we've got this thing, you really need to take it and make it a man kind of thing. And, there's this kind of camera angle that comes like from over his head onto his desk. Like, and that's how it's been for like 15
Mm.
years, you know? Um, right? So he just
Maybe
like,
it's a joke.
he has his smartphone out, right? And he just like inadvertently opens up his browser tabs, and you can actually see a YouPorn video open about some like
Yeah.
trans dominatrix, and people
He's
have
done some
actually.
pretty wacky stuff, like so. Like,
Yeah, but you're supposed to think of him as like this conservative guy, but then again, we've heard that before. These
he's
conservative
he's
these.
more of a libertarian, isn't he?
Well, I mean, they're all the one thing, really, when you think about it. But it's called back to the those Christian preachers who they had a really unusual fixation with this sin of homosexuality, and it turns out that they were like picking up rent boys in the street at night.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. So, how did the show go? Actually, I tried to call in at 9:30, but
Yeah, I
I
noticed.
wasn't able to because the live stream wasn't up.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was good that it wasn't actually live and it didn't work out, because then I could like really get into the flow of it. Um, yeah,
Oh yeah,
I kind of broke it down to this kind of grand fucking conspiracy theory that Ireland is actually going to play host to like the first 21st century like socialist revolution. Like, if you look at
oh,
what
do you really
happened,
think so?
if you look at what happened on like Tuesday and Wednesday with the housing thing, with the Gardaí showing up in balaclavas.
Sure.
you know, there's a lot of
Yeah,
people.
that was pretty weird. Actually, I did look into it a bit.
We have a
Because I know I
latency issue.
commented on it or whatever, but I didn't really look. You still there? I think the audio cut out.
I am. Yeah. Are you? Do you think maybe
Oh,
we could
cool, yeah.
try
Yeah, no,
Discord instead?
Sure, yeah. Which would I be in the live chat channel then?
No, we can do it through the IM. Actually, you know what? Let's actually start using our server. Let's go into the channel 93 audio room.
Oh yeah, see that.
And let me just shut down
I
Skype.
think it's blocked for me. I think that channel is actually blocked for me.
Oh, wait, no, really. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
VIP. Yeah, that's the role you're supposed to have. I thought these were hierarchical roles. It's the most confusing thing, fucking roles in Discord. But you should have access to.
Yeah, you could just.
But I'll shut down Skype, okay? Because it's a CPU
Okay.
whore.
Yeah. Okay, I'll shut it down as well.
Wow, did you hear that? Or maybe that was just me on my end, but that's how much Skype just strangles the life out of everything it touches. Okay, quit Skype. And yeah, we'll I'll join the audio channel here. And you know, it's a VIP channel. It's not open to plebs. Still blocked from joining. Okay, alright. Yeah, let's how do I okay. Mute, deafen, and then go to the live chat there. Okay, I can hear him talk. Okay.
I mean, it's muted on. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I wonder what the latency here is.
Seems pretty good anyway.
Cool.
Seems better than Skype.
Yeah. At least Skype doesn't have this kind of silence detection where, like, you know, when you talk, there's shh, and then when you don't talk, it's silent. It's kind of disconcerting, but you know, I guess it's not built for this kind of conversation anyway.
Yeah, I think Discord is built for having more people on talking at once, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw
Go
that.
on.
Yeah, no, I saw that eviction thing, and I did think it was pretty weird. They had like what seemed like private kind of security people there, you know. I just can't imagine doing it myself, like, you know, like evicting people, really. But I mean, I think that house that they were in was like occupied for like 3 years, or it was unoccupied for 3 years. I actually don't know a lot about the house though, like who owned it and what happened to it and why it was left unoccupied for so long. Like,
Yeah, that's a good question. Since you know, like I guess maybe it was tied up in like the landlord just couldn't afford to fix it up and rent it out kind of thing. But then again, he could he could afford to spend the money for a private security firm to evict them.
Yeah, maybe. So, I don't know. Maybe the house is worth a lot of money, but I don't know. I find like I'd say the people, like some of the people squatting in it or supporting people squatting in it weren't, they. It's possible that they didn't really care too much about the actual housing crisis or something like that. It's like some of them probably just wanted somewhere to live first of all.
Well, like that is the housing crisis, though.
Oh yeah, no, that is the housing crisis as well. But the claim to speak for everyone involved in it is probably a bit mad in some instances. Like, but I mean, like it is kind of like a. I suppose that is what you should be doing to protest it. Really, no, I do agree. What you're doing,
Well, there's the aspect, right? Where, the aspect of like a group like Take Back the City. It's like comes out of this. I guess some people involved in it are from like the Green Party. Some involved from the Solidarity group, like group of TDs or something. And I'm sure people before Profit are in there or something. Some kind of. I bet there's some way that you connect the SWP to it. Like these socialist groups.
It has to be really like.
Absolutely. So, these socialist groups, like, right, they'll find these hippies, occupying a building and say, all right, those guys represent us. Let's rally around them.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's, that's kind of seems what their behavior is like anyway. I mean, it could have been anybody who squatted it, really, I don't know if it was necessarily people like SWP or like one of those types of parties who actually squatted it originally. But yeah, these things kind of tend to be used by political parties, or they probably at least show up when the people are being evicted.
Yep.
What kind of like social?
Sorry.
What kind of like socialization of what kind of socialization of housing would actually work?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start the conversation off by looking at their demands for what should be like. They are asking for an end to evictions, which I think is unreasonable. They want the rent capped to 20% of a person's income, which I think is unreasonable. I can elaborate on that, but I think everyone can see as plain as day what the problem is there. And they want it to the maximum be €300 per room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, with that's, I suppose the 300 per room, might not be, I don't know, it's funny. The other ones, obviously, like the 20% of a person's income, like, usually depends on what they make, and, and the one before it, getting rid of evictions, like, imagine if you were a landlord and you couldn't evict, like, a tenant who was like, well, I suppose the thing is as well, though, at that point, I mean, if you can't evict people, what can you do, you
don't own your property anymore. Leases.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it, really? Like, you actually you wouldn't really own it if you can't kick someone out of it. Like, I mean, that's the whole idea, kind of, owning property, fundamentally, like, well, like, look, the whole thing about, like... That's really weird.
The whole thing about, like, capping at like, 20% of a person's income, does that mean that I can go and rent a 4-bedroom house all by myself, and then, like my rent cap is, like, €30 a week?
Yeah, you could rent a full house for yourself, just not use any of the rooms in it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, man.
Different houses. Yeah.
Oh man, like the issue. Look, here's a novel idea, right? I don't know. It just came to me out of nowhere. I think it's a totally original idea, right? Just bear with me a second. How about people with money build houses and then rent or sell them to people?
Yeah,
no, really.
I mean, at least not leave them vacant.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or at least not leave them vacant, Like, I mean, you remember, like, in Prospect Hill here, like, up on the very top of it, near where that is, There's, like, near the roundabout, top of Prospect Hill. There was, like, literally a line of, like, about 7 houses that were just vacant, And, yeah, I mean, there should be some kind of, like, incentive for people to kind of, like, not let them fall to dereliction, at least,
Yeah. If you want to go the government interference route, then yeah, that would be like the first step, I would say, is, like say, here, you're having a problem maintaining this property, like we'll give you a little bit of money just to set it up, and you pay us off over the course of like 10 years for this like minuscule amount of the rent that you'll be getting for it. Like, how come we can think of these things, but our leaders can't? That's the question.
Well, I think part of the issue is like with with renting and stuff. Like, some of the taxation is a little bit too high for landlords, So then they need to actually like increase the rent prices to be able to pay those,
Mm-hmm.
Also, just kind of, I think it's interlinked with kind of like the the mortgage problem as well. If you have like a mortgage, you need to make a certain amount of money every month. You kind of have to you don't really have a choice. If you're renting, like as part of your income,
Yeah.
keep it at a certain level. But then again, you do find like fair landlords and people who don't charge so much. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. There probably needs to be more incentive for people to actually like rent out properties. In fact, I think that's what the government was doing at one point. They're kind of, I think, asking more like elderly people and stuff to rent out rooms to people.
There was this like mini housing crisis, like a huge blip in the housing crisis about a year ago, where the government said, hey, we've got a brilliant idea. How about we cap the rent for 5 years? You can't go above this for 5 years, but we're only going to enact the legislation in about 2 months. And that gives like all the landlords in the country, like you only need like 30 days to say, hey, I'm going to up your rent by fucking 50% here. And that's exactly what they did, because they like, it's not because they're assholes and they're like getting in there before they their rents are frozen. No, it was more like, wait, in the next 3 years I could be made bankrupt and I can't up the rent to match inflation. Like, whoa, fuck you. And then that trickles down to like, people like my cousins, like startup families get fucked by this.
I think no, exactly, like good, honest, kind of like hardworking people, with good intentions and stuff like that. That's the worst part of it. But I don't know, like predominantly I find that like this issue is really like kind of seems to be attacked, by like left wing parties in Ireland, like I always see the housing crisis issue like associated with left wing parties, but I don't know really if I see it so much addressed by like right wing ones. I don't know about you. Maybe I just have been a bit misinformed. But
Ireland has right wing parties.
Well, it is addressed by like some of the up and upcoming ones, I guess. But like, I don't know. The more some of the more conservative people are landlords themselves as well. So they, I mean, may not have as much of an investment in the sense that they own property. And people who complain about it generally don't. But I mean, it is a left and a right wing issue, really, isn't it?
So I'm wondering, where does that leave us? Like I think that both of us are reasonably kind of secure for the short term. Like we touched upon this, on Wednesday night. But like, do you feel that you have any fucking hope whatsoever?
Yeah, I suppose in the long run, yeah, I suppose with my family, pretty much, in the next couple of years, we own one or two properties outright, which is good because I mean
Wow.
you can always turn one of them into like a B&B or something like that,
Yeah, or remortgage.
But that's only because they're thinking of selling off. They're thinking of selling up the house they have at the moment and kind of getting another one or getting two or something like that, But I think in the interim, I'm probably just going to be a renter, So I can't really imagine myself getting a mortgage, At least not here, or at least not like buying property here myself.
Sorry, I'm in that like middle period of where I don't know if like I have a burp coming or not. I wasn't being rude.
Yeah, the thing is, the whole Airbnb thing is like taking houses that could be potentially rented like out of the market, but at the same time it's a complicated issue because it is actually like a great way for people to make money. Like I know a guy like up the road from me, and he's retired. He worked all over the world. He's retired now, but he does an Airbnb. I think he's booked out a good bit of the year, but he also works as a cab driver for My Taxi. So he drives people around that he rents the Airbnb out to. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, like that's not an issue in itself. It's a great way for people to support themselves. And tourists rent those out and they bring money into like the local towns that surround them or whatever. With the cities, it wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't a housing crisis. Like the Airbnb thing is just one facet of it. It's not like the reason there's a housing crisis because it's a relatively new thing. So I mean, like the government is looking at regulating Airbnbs now as well.
Oh joy, because
I mean they're all short term lets like.
Well, judging by our government's track record, that they're probably just going to make things worse for everyone by legislating.
Yeah. Like I read that this summer they brought there's like 640,000 guests used service in Ireland. Isn't that crazy? Just over the summer.
Sorry, what was that figure again?
It was 640,000.
Just over the summer, huh? I don't know. Is that a confluence of forces there, or just purely mismanagement?
I don't know. I don't know. Apparently that was the official like Airbnb statement on it. I mean, it's a good thing that people want to visit Ireland, isn't it? And stay here. Short-term lets, houses that are well taken care of. It gives people an incentive to like take care of their properties better as well that they're renting out as Airbnbs. And
Yeah.
now it's just kind of like a knee-jerk kind of thing, to clamp down on it. I think it's bad.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I know another family that they're, do the Airbnb thing, and they're like booked out, throughout the year, and they live out in Mayo, and they're kind of like older as well. But beef. I mean, you're not, it's kind of almost like criminalizing it, if you're kind of like putting so many regulations on it, and just, the kind of people who are like, using the service to make money, they're not doing anything wrong, like.
Well, the whole idea of these new technologies is, to kind of, the new kind of techno market, quasi freedom. Yeah, it'd be a shame. I'm actually wondering, like, how many of these properties, like, we're not talking about like granny flats off the side of someone's house, we could be talking about like places at considerable distances from amenities that people generally don't want to move into or can't because they don't have a car. But someone visiting Ireland, they'll have a rental car or something at their disposal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's the issue with the socialization, I think, of like housing as well. Is you build these like council houses, but like sometimes they might not be near to things that everybody needs, that everybody wants. I don't know. Like I remember one out in Kildare, in a place that I lived, and like I don't know. The housing seemed like a decent enough quality, but it's kind of I don't know how much of a sense of community there was in the council estate itself, and it was pretty far removed, I guess, from everything you'd normally require, unless you had a car, you'd be screwed. Basically, that's it,
Mm-hmm. It's a strange interim period that we're living in.
Yeah, it's funny. Isn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, if I had my way, I would never ever live in any kind of a housing estate, council or otherwise. I don't think I'm going to be given that choice, but the sheer alienation of it. I can hear my neighbor's toilet flush, but I don't know his first name.
Yeah, you could just have kind of ambient. I suppose you can make what you could of it, but yeah.
When I lived in that housing estate, place, terraced house, probably the worst kind of house. That's terraced, not terrorist. The whole bleed over, the audio bleed over, I was okay with that. The most, in the evenings, I would hear her, draw her curtains closed, her front room curtains closed. And then on Saturday, I would hear her at the top of her voice singing along to U2.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's amazing how like paper thin some walls can be.
It's like they didn't expect humans to live there at all.
I think the audio just got mangled there. What'd you say?
Oh, it's almost like they didn't expect humans to live there at all. It's.
Oh yeah, it's totally getting stretched out at the moment. I'll try and just close some things.
Right. Yeah, that might be on my end. You know what I think I'll do is restart my writer, which will probably take like 5 minutes. And I think I've lost him completely. Yeah, so live listeners, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna restart the whole writer here. And I look forward to your listener participation in the very near future. Remember to refresh your page or look on our channel page. Or just take this opportunity to subscribe. Yeah, get notifications when we're back. Yeah, see, I tricked you.